push all this ink from the smaller chamber to the bigger one. I think that's good enough. It will cover the filter, and that's okay. So now you can see there's a bit of an air over here. We can try maybe to fill it up a bit more. One more time, and I think we're good. Doesn't have to be 100% filled. The important thing is to cover the filter in the entering chamber, and when you've done that, I think we're good. So very little air is left over here. So now all we have to do is to fill this small chamber, and this will be good enough. But as I've said, when you fill the new ciss, you should be holding it like this so you can fill the whole thing, both chambers, almost 100%, and that's the best way. It will fill better with head cleans, and it won't clog if the filter is covered. So maybe some I'm gonna clear off these bubbles here. So we wanna get to the ink without bubbles. So there's gonna be a lot of bubbles here because we've pushed the ink from one chamber to another, so we've made a lot of bubbles, but we're gonna push them out, and everything's gonna be good after that. So there may be a little bit more, but we're almost yeah, I think we're good now. So if there's any spillovers, you have to clean that up. Okay, so this is we're gonna repeat this process with the other 3 cartridges, because you can see they're also 40 or 50% filled, which needs to be better. This could work, but it will work longer if you fill it 80 or 90% like this. And when we repeat the process on all 4 of them, we will then mount this other electronics with the whole carrier, not this broken one, and we're gonna try to do a head cleans, couple of head cleans to fill the head, and try some test prints. So after we're done with this, we're gonna move on to placing this electronic board over here. So we've said we're gonna use this from an already used ciss. The electronics is good over here, but the ciss has been cartridges are being removed because probably there's some clogs with the filter inside, and so something like that. We just need the board over here. If there's any ink somewhere on the board, we gotta clean that off, especially if it's on the side of the where the contacts are, because if we have some ink over here, we will not have a good connection. So I'm just gonna clean it a bit with the alcohol and dry it off. Okay. So we're good. Now let's try to place it on the ciss. We have to put inside, so the order of the inks is sometimes it's different, so we have to pay attention to this sticker over here for the ink. So the order is cyan, yellow, magenta, black. It's like this. All right, so let's try to maybe it's easier to go one by one because it will fit better. All right, that's one. So yellow is the next one. Okay, got that one, and magenta. Something is not sitting. Okay, got that one in. If it gravitates a bit to the left, we have to align it. And the black one is the last one. All right, so we need to connect all of them with this holder. Okay, that's about it. Maybe maybe we should pull the whole thing a bit more to the back, because we don't want the pipes hitting somewhere. Or maybe even better thing to do, if we want to keep this black pipe here above the channel, maybe it's better to turn this holder around so it can catch the pipes over here on the yellow cartridge. So let me just correct that. It could be good like this also, but we don't want to take any chances. We want to play it safe. So it's this is a better solution. All right. There. So now we don't have anything sticking outside, so the pipe won't be hitting any sides when the head reaches the end right position. Alright, so this is the new head we've already placed earlier. We just have to put the ciss inside. Okay, push it a bit harder, and the owner had this solution with the pipe hanging from above. That's also good, works also. But in this case, when the pipe is hanging from above, you have to have the scanner open all the time. And if we check how the head is moving left and right, it's pretty good. Place this inside, unfold the pipes to stand straight. That's good. So we are good there, and only thing we need to do is to turn it on, do a couple of head cleans, and try to test print something. So let's plug in the power. Let's see if it's gonna recognize the board over here. Ink cartridges not recognized, so let's suppose that it wants to reset, so we're gonna do that. How do we reset? We call the head in the position which is position for cartridge replacement, or in other words, the cartridges align with the sticker over here. So that's the position. We have to click on the reset button. Okay, and one more time to drive it back in the ready position. So let's see if it's gonna recognize the board. Okay, so you can see the board is recognized. That's good. And so now the ink is charging to the head, and probably it's advisable to do, since it's a new head, it's advisable to do more than one head clean. So we're gonna do two, at least two. So and then we're gonna check the CMYK test to see if we have all the colors. Okay, so it says replacement is complete. That's good. And what we're gonna try is to do one more. Okay, one more head clean. Nozzle check. No, no. Why is it not moving? Something is wrong here. Oh yeah, you have to press it a bit harder. Probably something is dusty inside. And proceed. All right. So after this head clean, we should be having all the colors. And we're gonna check if it's gonna work. Okay, I think we're cleaning is complete. Okay, it's the red button, right? So let's try to print out something. And we used old papers for the test, so we are pretty much ecological, and suggest you to do the same. Well, let's see. So now black ink seems to be fine. Yellow seems to be fine from the first look. Maybe yellow is maybe a little bit pale, so maybe one more head clean would be good to do. Maybe not all the nozzles are filled, so that's what we're gonna do after we print this out. So yeah, cyan is weird, so we do need at least one more head clean. Yeah, maybe even not yellow, not that bad, but probably not all the looks a little palish. Probably not all the nozzles are filled, but the cyan is pretty much weird. So we're gonna do one more head clean and turn the paper around. But one thing we do have all the colors. So you can see the pump is also working. The air pockets are traveling to the cartridge, so that's all good. But as you can see, sometimes when the head is new, even the 2 head cleans are not enough to get the desired results. Okay, cleaning is complete. Right, I'm gonna set the Epson matte option because it does make a bit more pressure through the nozzle, so it's gonna fill up more easier. So we should be having some better prints now in this second attempt. The black was pretty good the first time we printed because this head has 120 nozzles on the black and 46 on other colors, so even if it doesn't fill 100% of the channel, there's still a lot of nozzles firing, so that's why the black was good the first time we printed. But we're now interested in other color channels, so we're gonna see if it's gonna work out this time. So I've set the Epson matte option, which is gonna throw a bit more ink to the paper, and I've lowered the speed a bit. So I unchecked the high speed option, so because I want to printer to work longer to fill all the nozzles by itself. And if this checks out good, we are done with this repair. So now it takes a bit longer to print all this out, but it's good if we want to fill all the nozzles. I don't see any yellow now. Oh yeah. So if I uncheck the high speed, it does slow the printer a lot, but since we want to fill everything up, every nozzle 100%, this is good to do it in this print this way. So yeah, now I think that yellow is good. Also, keep in mind that this is a sublimation ink, so sublimation ink on the paper does look, when printed, does look a little palish compared to the other ink, so when it becomes intensive is when you put it under the press and sublimate it under something. So it does need to be heated up to achieve the intensity. And yeah, so this is yeah, magenta is darker than the first print. I can already see that, but the cyan was pretty pale, so let's just wait a bit more to reach the cyan. Still seems a bit palish to me. Maybe it's the type of ink, because it should be working now. But I'm gonna try to get it better. So yeah, we do have some improvement with cyan, and definitely improvement with yellow and magenta, but still cyan seems to be a bit palish. Maybe one more head clean. So okay, we don't have to film all that, but when if we get, and we will, the cyan a bit, I think it should be a bit darker than this, we will definitely film that also. We did a couple of more head cleans, and it would seem that it's such type of ink that it does appear a bit palish on the cyan, because when we print nozzle check over here, you can see that the nozzle check for the cyan is full, even the line is not interrupted anywhere, so it has to be type of ink is a bit more palish on the cyan, but other than that, when the thing is put under press, it would be more intensive. It looks like it so on the paper. You have some darker tones depending on what the manufacturer is, but this is just that type of ink. So we're done for this one, and that would be all for the Epson sx218.